Hi there folks, my name's NovaWrap and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop summation for all your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are once again on Sunday the 30th of April 2017 for another episode, and we're going to jump straight into it this week on ground level this week. So the guys over at Just Trains have made a few releases over the last 2 weeks. Sorry, I did miss this in last week's episode as well. So we've got two new additions for Train Simulator 2017, courtesy of the team over at Just Trains. So the first one comes to us from the Virtual Railroads Studios. Now this is a set of studios throughout Europe, so this gives you a 90 kilometer route, which actually gives you over 300 kilometers worth of actual track between throughout the Brigach and Danube regions, from Villingen through to Lake Constance as well. So it's a pretty long and pretty beautiful set of terrain that you're actually going to be traveling through on this one. Now this comes through with some very high detailed work and a lot of custom objects to actually give you that actual lived in and give you that actual authentic experience. Along with that, it is sort of period set for the way the route looked between 1998 and 2002. And gives you a total of 4 different trains, including this one, along with some freight and passenger wagons as well, along with 6 scenarios for you to be able to use this one, and looking absolutely stunning. It really does. So yeah, this studio is looking really good. So for the quality of their work, the trains that you do get is the BR189 and the 111, the DAB Dosto and the ABN Regio are the 4 trains that you do get included with this one. So this one is available over at the Just Trains website. So I'll put the link in the description down below. You can go down and grab that one if you do want to expand your European track work. And that one is available now for $42 US, or your original equivalent, available now. Alright, in the other release that we saw come out, this one's moving just across the channel back onto the soil of the United Kingdom. So we saw a new line released for Train Simulator 2017. This is the Chiltern Main Line, so this is the London to Birmingham section. So this one comes through set in the 2012 to 2016, so a fairly modern route. This one gives you about just over 100 miles of actual track to come through here, with over 40 stations and 14 scenarios included in here as well. There's a lot of stuff packed into this line route that I noticed. There's a lot of objects in here as well, and giving you the, as I said, gives you the main line, but running between the London terminus at Marylebone Northwest all the way through to Birmingham and Snow Hill. As I said, looking pretty cool, pretty exciting. Now, just a word of warning though with this one. Although this one doesn't come with any actual trains itself, it does come with a large number of scenarios. As I said, 14 scenarios are included with this one. However, in order to be able to make it, to be able to use these scenarios and use all of the scenarios, you are going to need quite a few add-ons to make this work together. So in fact, you're going to need 5 add-ons from the Just Trains crew, and you're going to need 4 add-ons from Steam, from the official Dovetail Steam releases. So yeah, just a word of caution on this one. As I said, it's beautiful. You can use your own lines on that one, but if you are wanting to use the scenarios that come with this one, you are probably going to want to pay close attention to the pre-requirements for this as well. So just something to be aware of for you. As I said though, this is looking pretty damn cool, and a lot of variety on this route. And as I said, a really long set of scenarios, and a really long, beautifully detailed line for this one. Coming in at $38 US, or your original equivalent, available now from Just Trains. Alrighty, and continuing on with the Train Simulator vein this week. So the guys, speaking of the official Steam releases, we saw one come out. This is one of the Train Simulator Pro series. So their Pro range, of course, is their more detailed, very highly detailed, very sort of more enthusiast sort of set for that one. So a lot more highly detailed. I suppose us Flight Simulator people would call it a study level simulated version. So this is for the Clear Creek Old Timer rolling stock pack. Basically, this one gives you a train from the 1890s. It gives you the Denver, Leadville, and Gunnison 280 with a lot of custom scripting and very authentic way of actually producing it, and very authentically modelled. including the rolling stock that comes with it as well. So it's a very, very detailed scenario and representation of this train, and works on the but does require the Clear Creek narrow gauge route add-on if you do want to be able to use it. So it just like a lot of the Dovetail, or like a lot of the train simulator add-ons, is they do often have intercompatibility. And this one, as I said, to be able to use the scenarios, you will require the Clear Creek narrow gauge route add-on as well. And because it does require, it is a narrow gauge train, so it is required for whether you just want to drive it as part of a quick drive scenario, or whether you want to actually use the scenarios. You do require that narrow gauge route add-on. So just again, be aware of that one for going into on. As I said, looking incredibly detailed. If you are into sort of recreating this age, was the 1890 age of steam on these narrow gauges in America. As I said, looking pretty damn cool, and going through some beautiful countryside of that route add-on. This one is available now on Steam, coming in at $20 US, or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Alright, moving on into sticking with the ground level, moving on into other simulators this week. So the guys over at Car Mechanic Simulator have released their latest piece of DLC. Of course, we've been seeing the DLC come out. Fairly slow but steady release of DLC for this title over the last couple of years. And this latest one is a very interesting one, and one that's kind of it's kind of interesting. It's kind of one that I kind of saw coming, and kind of am surprised it's taken so long before it's actually sort of come about. So this one's called Car Stripping. Basically, you get a wreck and you strip it for parts, salvage what you can, and then you have the choice of either reusing the parts that you salvage, try to fix them on your workbenches, or just straight up sell them. It's a useful way to actually sort of get a bit of cash flow, which is one of the biggest issues you have when you first start in Car Mechanic Simulator, is because you do have a bit of a cash flow issue. So this is a good way to sort of help boost some of that cash flow problems along. But otherwise, it is a very simple DLC. And it does have a price point to reflect that. I mean, it's coming in at $1, $1 US for this one on Steam. To be fair, as I said, the price is it's a low price point. I kind of think this should be part of the base game. Just I personally think it should be, but either way, at least they haven't put it as an outrageous price. But as I said, well, anyway, and it is kind of one of those things, as I said, because having enjoyed this game myself, it is one of the biggest hurdles that you face, which is actually at the start, which is just simply just a cash flow issue at the start, and this is a good one to get you started. So, it might not be a bad thing to think of investing in. As I said, it's a bit of a shame it just wasn't integrated into the core game. But as a DLC, if you are looking at playing Car Mechanic Simulator, I probably would suggest pick this up. If you haven't already picked up the game and you're thinking of getting it, I would suggest grab this add-on with it. I would. Anyway, as I said, available, coming in at $1 on Steam, available now. Alrighty, moving on into other simulator releases this week. So we saw an interesting release here called Megalomaniac. Now this is got a very interesting art style, and is kind of very topical at the moment in the global political climate that we all find ourselves in. Basically, Megalomaniac is this sort of 8-bit graphic kind of look at you going through as a rich heir to a family empire, and go through and actually sort of the goal basically is to buy the world, buy everything you possibly can. That's kind of the goal, but it's got a couple of interesting twists on it. Basically, it's sort of go through what industries do you buy, what how do you get money out of various industries or your family and things like that. Do you control the media, or do you have to control governments, all that kind of stuff. It's very interesting. But the really interesting thing about it is a lot of these kind of games have been done before, but they're all done as like a turn-based kind of thing. This one's not. This one's done in a sort of real time, and because your game is limited, your game is limited by your lifespan. That's it, and it actually plays out as a real time. So obviously not a 1-to-1 speed, but as I said, it comes out real time. You don't get a pause, you don't get a break, you just go straight through. So very interesting. yeah, it's only sort of, it's each game's only ever going to last you sort of maybe an hour or so. You know, that's all it's going to last you. But there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. A lot of dark humor in this as well. And again, as I said, very topical at the moment, and sort of poking holes in fake news and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, can you write the fake news, all that kind of stuff. So very interesting. Kind of worth it, especially for the price tag. I think it's kind of it's interesting. If you enjoy satire, I think you'll enjoy this. But yeah, coming in at $5 on Steam, available now if you so choose and want to go down the path and look for some very topical Easter eggs. Available now. Alrighty, in another simulation release this week, we saw the release of Starfighter Origins. So, there's been a few releases of various sort of space games at the moment, and this one aims to pull back its sort of the initial heyday of sort of space games back in the 80s and 90s, where it was purely about a sort of story and space combat. None of this crafting mechanics, none of this grinding to get stuff, none of this microtransaction rubbish. It's simply jump in a ship, go out, blow shit up, come back, cutscene, next mission. That's what it's sort of aiming to capture, and it's kind of, and just looking at it, as I don't have this title, I'm just looking at the sort of the trailer videos and the screenshots and whatever. It does really look like it's tried to get that, and I think it's captured that fairly well. A lot of mixed sort of feedback coming amongst the community about how it actually plays in actual gameplay. A lot of people saying sort of issues with some of the core game mechanics, but yeah. So sort of, as I said, just maybe beware of this one. Have a look at the reviews, and maybe watch a couple of YouTube reviews of this one. But I like the concept, and I cut my teeth on things like X-wing, TIE Fighter, X-wing versus TIE Fighter. Like I cut my teeth on those sort of sims and Freelancer, and so I really want to sort of see this succeed, but I'm not sure if they're going to. But anyway, if you do grab it, let me know what you think of it in the description down below, in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, if you are wanting to grab it, it is available now on Steam for $20 or your regional equivalent, available now. Alrighty, and moving now into the world of flight simulation. First off, with a VR title of Glider Island. So this is again, like a lot of the so it's a very interesting sort of VR title that comes through here. Basically, you take control of a rocket-assisted hang glider. Yes, it is as far-fetched as it sounds. Over various sort of semi-realistic world and fantasy landscapes to actually go through. Fly through a set of rings, collecting rings as you go, and getting boosts and extra fuel for your rocket assists and stuff like that. By the way, the rockets assisting you look like AIM-132 ASRAMs. Just saying, somebody's borrowed an asset from something somewhere, obviously. Anyway, yeah, as it look, this is available for VR. Kind of interesting. I won't be getting it. I'm just straight up, but it could be kind of cool, kind of interesting. But the cool thing is that it doesn't require VR if you don't have it. It is fully compatible with a gamepad and mouse and keyboard play as well. So if you don't have VR, that's okay. You can still experience it if you want. And as I said, coming in at $8, available now on Steam if you so desire. Alrighty, now finally continuing on in the world with flight simulation, moving on to the really big stuff for the week. So a few releases in the ESP world, and a few updates as well in the ESP world. So the first one we saw was the guys over at Flight One have moved their Cessna Skycatcher, their Cessna 162 Skycatcher, from a payware product to freeware. So it is available. You still has to go through the download through the their sort of flight, their wrapper and stuff like that, but there is a special set of instructions to be able to make sure that you get it for free. The Cessna 162 was basically Cessna's failed attempt to get into the sports light aircraft market. They ballsed it up something chronic. It was not what the community was looking for in any way, shape, or form, and it was withdrawn from sale very shortly after release. So there you go. So there's probably more of them flying. There is definitely going to be more of them flying in the virtual world than there are in the real world. But still, it's still an aircraft, and it's still kind of interesting to fly if you so desire. Looking not too bad and fairly well modeled as well, from what I can tell. But yes, as I said, coming in available for the used to be $30, coming in now for free. So pick that one up now if you so desire. In other update news this week, the guys over at Just Flight with their Hawk T Mark 1 and 1A, they have released a update for that one, and it is a free update, which I'm always excited as. They've updated it to make it fully compatible with TACPack. So hopefully we'll be bringing you something on that very shortly. Basically, it just gives you full TACPack compatibility. A few bug fixes as well have been bundled with the update as well. But it is a free update for all existing users and all future users. So it hasn't, they haven't bumped the price up or anything like that. They've just rolled it up as a free update, which is really cool. Thank you very much, Just Flight, for doing that and not slugging anybody with some nasty upgrade fees. So yes, available now. If you just simply grab it, log back into your online store account, grab that, and grab the download for risk to do your update now. And in other update news, the guys over at Carinado have finally updated their Cessna 337 Skymaster HD series. They finally updated that one to version 2. Basically, they have updated this one so it now finally works with Lockheed Martin's Prepared 3D version 3 and FSX Steam Edition. It does actually recognize those installs for you. It adds in a few extra cold and dark and ready for taxi options as well, so you don't have to go through if you don't want to. Some improved and updated graphics effects for all of the included liveries, some updated various effects for the aircraft, as well as improved GTN gauge integration as well. Again, log into your online store account for this one to download the updated installer to update to version 2 now. And rounding out the update news for this week, as I said, a lot of updates this one. Well, this is an update slash a new product. So this is kind of a bit of both categories, this one. So the guys over at Milviz, who released their F4E Phantom a while ago, they then released the TACPack version of it. Little unimpressed that it was sold as a separate add-on, but anyway, that's another issue. What they've now done is they've now brought this up to in their words, a study level simulation of the F4E Phantom 2 with their advanced series update. So this is a bolt-on to the core F4E package. So you don't just buy this; you buy the core F4E, and then you buy this on top as well, and it will update it to give you in their words, the most realistic version possible in today's simulators. So they've incorporated a lot of stuff in here. The big one is that they're using a lot of outside sim stuff to actually improve it as well. So they've updated their the flight dynamic model of it as well, but they've also getting external physics engines to actually input into the sim to actually affect the aircraft, and there are a lot more of the systems have been modeled from both outside and inside the sim. So there's a lot of stuff going in through here, and it does offer an instructor mode, which is probably going to be very, very important for those first coming into it, to actually go through and help and guide you through some of the cold and darks and a lot of the systems as well. So it's just like having an actual F4 instructor sitting in the rear seat to actually give you the update. Just a quick overview. I'm not going to go through all of them, but they've updated the anti-skid, anti-lock braking system on it. They've actually now done accurate modeling of the pylons, racks and stores, to actually how it actually the drag and the stability of the aircraft is affected by it. They've updated the slat effects. They've now added in both GPU and cartridge starts, as well as engine windmilling mid-air starts for the engines as well. Updated the fuel management system. They've added realistic battle damage if you are upgrading if you've got the TACPack add-on included as well. And as I said, a whole heap of other stuff included in here. Now, just a word of note as well is that this is only for the F4E. This is not for the F4S, also by Milviz. This is only for the F4E. So yeah, look, if you do want to update it, it is coming in at $19 US from the Milviz website. That's just the add-on, so you do have to have the F4E Phantom 2 from Milviz already to do this one, or they do offer a couple of bundle deals as well if you do want to have it that way as well. So there you go. Otherwise, available now from Milviz. Alright, and sort of continuing on with some releases and non-updates this year, this week. So the guys over at P-Real Soft have released their update, or their update. God, there's, as I said, so many updates this week. I just got stuck on updates. Anyway, have released their version of Algiers Airport. Of course, this is the airport in Algiers, the capital of Algeria. Yeah, it gives you a whole heap of new stuff included with there, a whole heap of airline support there. Modeled to how it looks as of 2015, I believe. So a couple of years over there, but covers not only the airport but also the surrounding city as well in a fair bit of detail. Fully compatible with FTX Global, and looking quite nice. It's a little rough around the edges in some parts, but a lot of the models look really high quality here for around the airport. The airport texturing is looking amazing. The stuff outside of the airport, yeah, hit and miss. But the airport itself and the textures that have gone into the taxiways and the runways are very good. Again, the only sort of issue I do sort of have is some of the photo reel that they've used for the airport is a little bit hit and miss. But when they've actually done the custom textures for the airport and the taxiways, they do look amazing. But yes, if you do want to pick this one's available, as far as I can see, exclusive at SimMarket at the moment, coming in for €20 or your original equivalent, available now on SimMarket. And rounding out the flight simulation releases for this week, the guys over at Digital Design have released their version of Leipzig-Halle Airport. So again, one of the busiest European hub airports in the Saxony region in Germany is looking absolutely. This one is looking absolutely stunning. It really is. Just incredibly high detail buildings and ground textures for this one. This one is looking absolutely amazing. Beautifully custom textured taxiways and runways again. Very nice night effects coming through this one. They're claiming that it is very FPF frame friendly for this one, though I'm struggling to believe that with the quality and the detail of the models that are on here. But great if it is. Again, fully compatible with FTX Global, the kind of default standard these days, and fully supporting SODE elements, including the jetways, are included as well. So looking not too bad. And this one's coming in at a little slightly higher, €21 or your original equivalent, available now at SimMarket. Alright folks, well that does round out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, but before I go, sorry, I do apologize before I go, I do need to let you know, there will be no NovaWrap next week, folks. So next weekend I am going to be off chasing my Spartan Beast for completion for this year. So I'm heading down to the Picton course in New South Wales. I'm kind of psyching myself out a little bit here, but yes, I'm chasing my Beast. I've been told it's a terrifying course, one of the hardest, apparently second only to Vermont, which is very scary. But anyway, so yes, I'm going to be out chasing that next week, hopefully not dying. So yes, there will be no NovaWrap because I will still be recovering / on the road coming back from that event next weekend. So no NovaWrap next week, but thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always folks, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.